Hello everyone! Just checking that my door's closed. Sorry you are shaky. There it is. Let me fix you guys real quick. Otherwise you're just gonna wobble the entire time and that's not cool. There you go. Awesome. Oh, I meant to like put on a necktie and look cute for you guys, but I got so distracted by this project. Yeah. So my thoughts for today are that I'll talk to you guys a little bit about CoCoVid and like behind the scenes of CoCoVid, I think. And like we can kind of chat about that because I think it's awesome. But I'm also going to be working on the sleeves for my Spanish gown because I really, really want them done. And I am in the exciting phase of finishing the fabric manipulation, so that way hopefully tomorrow I can like spend 2 hours, sew them together, and be done. So hope. Anyway, so we will see. Yeah, we'll see. So let's start with showing you guys what I'm doing with the fabric manipulation, and then we'll talk about CoCoVid. So let me angle you guys down so you can see my table. So these are the sleeves for my Spanish gown. If you guys, there's a bunch of new people here since CoCoVid. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about when I say my Spanish gown, you can go back in past lives. It's or go back on my Instagram. It's the green and brown dress. So it's the dress that matches these sleeves. I look at Pinterest a lot for, I'm like talking, I'll bring you guys back up. So I look at Pinterest a lot for inspiration on like things I want to do to make my dresses look different because I'm working in a very specific time frame, which is 1550 to 1600. So I'm working in a 50-year time frame, specifically in Italy, in the Florence region, because that's the style of like historical fashion that I am obsessed with. If you guys have been around, you know I'm obsessed with this. If you look up the portraits of Eleanor de Toledo, she's my fashion icon. So, yeah. Alright, I had a couple comments fly by. Oh, you're still awake. I think you should go to bed though. Just saying. We talked earlier. She said she wasn't going to stay up for this and I told her not to worry about it. Let's see. Yes, so I found this image on Pinterest of these sleeves and I knew exactly how to do them because I grew up sewing and doing embroidery, and so what's it called? So the technique that I'm doing is a technique that you do in drawn thread embroidery. I'll grab it, one sec. So this is a piece of drawn thread embroidery that I did a while ago. So I'll show it to you guys. So it's this technique that I used right here is the same one that I'm doing on the sleeves. This is just a double twist, and I'm doing a single twist on the sleeves. So yeah, if you know anything about drawn thread embroidery, that's basically what I'm doing. To make life easier on myself and to make sure that the sizing was correct, I'm doing all of the fabric manipulation before I cut out the sleeves. And this is actually a common technique that you see in a lot of like Victorian era stuff. So I feel justified doing it this way. But yeah. So the first thing that I did, like if you guys have been following my Instagram stories, the first thing that I did was I spent like 5 hours cutting holes in perfectly good silk, and it was bad. But it's great. I hooked up with a couple friends. We had a straight we had a video chat. It was great. Anyway, they helped keep me focused because my ADD has been everywhere recently. So they helped keep me focused, and got all the cutting done. I put all of the bands in it this morning, and I thought what a fun thing to do would be the actual fabric manipulation while I talk to you guys. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna like tilt my camera down so you guys can see what I'm doing with my hands. If like I get off on a tangent and start like actually talking to you guys, I'll like pop you back up so you can see my face. So how do you do embroidery on fabrics? That is a question we can talk about another day. That's a really broad answer. There's surface embroidery, there's cutwork embroidery, there's lace making. That's not something I can answer quickly and easily. But I can start making embroidery videos if you guys are interested in that. I have one that I plan on making for my bunad, which I want to make before Christmas. So if you guys really like that video, then I can make more. I mean, I have a lot of like fabric knowledge, I guess. General fabric knowledge. So yeah, I can do videos. Those actually would be really good like fluff in between videos because they wouldn't take that long to film and edit. So yes. I also plan on continuing my Sewing 101 series that I started for CoCoVid. It's just gonna take me a while to like get the energy back to actually want to do those styles of videos. So I can start working on those behind the scenes. Because I know that's why a lot of you are here now, was because I did those 7 videos. So my kids' new obsession is with embroidery. They would love more videos. I would love to do more videos. Gilbert definitely has more videos on it as well. He's done a lot of basic Sewing 101 style videos as well. So I would love all the videos. Yes, I would love all the videos too. It really, like, making videos for me is really energy dependent. So, alright. I'm going to bring you guys over here. I really want you to be able to see very clearly what I'm doing. Oh! Well. Okay. So you can see that I've done a couple right here already. This is one of the like easiest things to do as far as drawn thread embroidery and like this fabric manipulation, which is why I was just like, I want to do it so bad. But it truly was cutting the holes in the silk that just like scared me to death. Anyway. Yeah, I am gonna go through and like press everything when I'm done, like before I cut out the sleeves, just to make sure that it all stays in place. Anyway, so I'll show you guys how I do this because I just did that one really quick, making sure. So what you do is you basically work with 2 pieces at a time, and you always work with one. So if you're doing drawn thread embroidery, then this is actually going to be like a needle. But I didn't have a needle's eye that would like hold on to this bias tape very well, and I figured this safety pin would be good enough. Anyway, so you're going to go under the second one and wrap around the first. This is so much easier with like embroidery. And then you're just gonna pull it through. And because I'm working with like a ribbon like thing, I want to make sure that nothing is twisted and everything's gonna lay nice and flat. So like that. So yeah, so that's basically what I'm going to do for all, I think I have 20 rows of this. No, I counted. I have 17, 15. I have 15 of these to do. I don't know how long they're going to take me, But that's what I'll be doing. So I've showed you guys. I think I'm gonna pop you back up so that way, is there a way you could bring the camera closer to the project? No, because you guys are on my tripod, and I can't prop my phone up and use both hands at the same time. But I will make sure to get really detailed shots for this sleeve making video that I'm going to be putting out. I'll get some really awesome shots for you guys. I've actually already gotten some pretty awesome epic shots. I'm like quite proud of my filming for this video. But I'll make sure to continue that for you guys. So, I don't know why Mia Sieving Noob is due here. I don't understand. Honestly, when you are new at something, consume all the content. Just consume it all, is my advice, because you never know when you're going to like get to the point where you're like, oh, I feel comfortable doing something more than pillowcases now. Marty showed me this piping technique. Ooh, let's put that on something. Like, you never know when you're going to feel ready for that next step, and you might be totally comfortable doing something that just like makes me extremely uncomfortable and gives me anxiety. So like, you literally just consume everything, and the more you know, like, the better you'll create. So yeah, glad you're here. I understood with CoCoVid that I need to stop using that or else YouTube's gonna like flag me. I'm gonna call it the last weekend. So I understood with the content that I put out last weekend that I was going to get a lot of like newbies here. So I understood that I was going to get a lot of like beginner sewers and things here. And I really do want to have a beginner friendly channel. Just because like I remember what it was like being a beginner, and I would like run headlong into a project and like just do it and make all the mistakes. But there is a common fear with doing that. And there's a lot of like reasons that I can think of that could be a thing, like why that's a thing. But they really don't matter. But yeah. Anyway. Ugh, excuse me. How was the past weekend for all of you? Like, what did you binge watch? What did you see? What cool technique did someone show you? Or cool piece of jewelry or whatever? Like, what content did you guys consume over the weekend that you thought was awesome? I want to know. I put myself back onto self-imposed bed rest. It wasn't like super bad, but it was definitely needed. So I learned how to whip gather historical fashion. You learn so much. Yeah. I mean, this was really a great educational weekend. So mostly watched all the live panels. Same. So lives were amazing. Yeah, like the content that people put out this weekend was just amazing. I wish I would have had the energy to like watch more. My brain got so shoved of knowledge, I got overstimulated. Oh yes, I can understand that one. The good thing is, like, from a like for the most part, they're going to stay up. So try blackwork embroidery. Yes, I love blackwork. Man, trying to learn historical fashion and can't get the right research. That one's hard. It comes with time. So yeah, research is one of those things that really just comes with time, and it comes per project. I found. So like I will pick a project and like learn everything I can in making it. And so I feel like there's two types of research that we do as historical costumers. There's the straight academic research, which is going to be like your Bernadette Banner research people. And then there's like your, what's it called? Your experimental archaeology people, which is me, who will like go into a project and learn as I do it. So I'm gonna do a video at some point on how to research. Yes, please, Marlies, do that video. I think we've talked about it. At least I've seen you mention it at places, so I think that would be fantastic. Free historical books on archive will help you loads. Yes, archive.com is fantastic. Academia.eu, whatever that is also a fantastic resource. It's like a place where like people post their PhD papers. It's fantastic. Anyway, maybe I won't work, guys. Maybe I'll just sit here and like chat with you. You guys are so chatty today and I love it. So just catching up on stuff from earlier in the weekend. Loved the black work video. I need to find that video. I didn't know that was up. So made a reform dress because of the challenge. Yeah. Yeah, I love how like it was an online event, but it felt very much alive. I was in the Discord server, but I got overwhelmed and I like noped out of that real quick. Oh, excuse me. But like to everyone who was like in there and participating and like connecting with people, like kudos to you. You guys are awesome. So I am just like super happy. I think we were all kind of nervous about like how the weekend would go beforehand, and that it just was so awesome to like see all of the positive comments and everything that really came out of the weekend. We have so like all of the costume creators has we have our own Discord server where we just like chat and hang out and stuff. And we specifically have a channel on there that's about like reaching milestones. And so like it was so awesome over the weekend to see so many different people hitting so many different goals that they thought they wouldn't have hit for like another year. So I think it's kind of awesome. Like this community is honestly like some of the most supportive. So silenced everything but the badge game channels. Yes! Did you get all of the badges? Did you get the Glider Club badge? I mean, that's the one I care about, honestly. So I don't know what Discord is. So Discord is an online chat room thing, is the best way to explain it. And they have like different things for like different subjects where you can like go into that subject chat room and like that's where people talk about. So definitely got the Glider Club. Yeah, good. So good. I'm glad you guys had so much fun. Of course. Yeah, I wanted to have like a special claim code for the Glider Club badge, but I think it like hung a couple people up. So 154 badges. That is amazing. I got 4, but I also wasn't like hunting them down. So there's that. Did you guys do like any of the Instagram events, like the red carpet or ice cream social? What's it called? Sunday Undies was the other one. Those are the 3. So ice cream social, red carpet on Saturday, or Sunday Undies. Oh, and the tea party. I forgot about the tea party. Excuse me while I like crack my knuckles. Yeah, I mean, if you guys don't have an Instagram or like aren't into Instagram, that's fine. Like, these are specific things that we did to try to like bring the event to life, which I think were a lot of fun. So your playlist for sewing videos doubled this weekend? I am not surprised. I tried really hard to make a playlist of like what I was watching for you guys so you could like follow along with what I watched. But like I really just was so exhausted. I did not do much besides watch the lives that weekend. So, like, don't want to miss any of your comments. You guys are so chatty and I love it. I'm probably going to spend the rest of my day doing this. Oh, it's looking so good. I want to show you guys because it's honestly like looking fantastic. Oh, the flyaways that are like tickling my nose. Look at this. Oh, it's looking so good. Alright, I am so glad that you found my sewing videos helpful. That really was the point of doing them. I still kind of wish I could have gotten all 11 of them up that I wanted to, but I ran out of energy and burned myself out so bad. But I'm glad you guys found those helpful. So I'm really wondering if like once I'm done with this part of it, if I just want to like go through and bead right here. Oh, it just sounds like so much work. And I've already put so much work into this. So I definitely plan on making a monthly Sewing 101 video. It just might not start happening until the beginning of the year. I have, my content calendar is like completely full until January. So, but yeah, making Sewing 101 videos is definitely something I want to continue. If and when I start a Patreon, I would also love to do like virtual sewing classes with Patreon and have that just be one of my tiers, where we actually like do projects and like work on stuff together. Favorite job I have ever had was teaching sewing lessons, and so I would love to do that more. So yeah, I don't know, I have a lot of, like we've talked about, the, what's it called, projects that I have for the rest of the year. So I think next week I'll have more progress on those. So I think it should be a regular thing. It's a fantastic opportunity to be inspired by those who cannot attend costume college. So yes, I think so too. The weekend was not in any way associated with costume college. We really just, like, as a community felt a void and decided to fill it. And there are a lot of people who were creators that were involved in last weekend that also really miss costume college. So they're definitely not the same thing. But so let's talk about, like, being an online creator for a big event like this. Like, I'll just, like, spill a little bit. Where do I want to start? So the reason how come, like, big events like CoCoVid cannot happen, like, all the time, is because they take a lot of effort. So I kind of just mentioned briefly before, like, I had 11 videos planned, and I thought for sure that I could get them done. But then, like, I just got super burnt out and didn't listen to my body when it said you need to you need to take a break and you need to rest. And I ended up being on self-imposed bed rest, where I literally did not leave my bed for an entire weekend. And like, I definitely got major burnout, but there were other creators that don't post as much or as often as I do that definitely put forth a lot of effort to make sure that their content was out too. And so it really comes down to a big event like that happening, like, all the time is really just not sustainable, which is why it's, like, a special event thing. We have tentatively been talking about, like, what if we do another one, but I honestly, I'm gonna, like, level with you guys, like, do not expect it. It was a lot of work to put on, and it was a lot of fun for us, and it was a lot of fun for you, but it was a lot of work. So, and it definitely does not replace, like, in-person events. But I also think that, like, if you find creators who are putting out the content that you want to see, you should definitely, like, help and support them. A lot of us have like, different ways that you can support us down in, like, our descriptions and things. So definitely support the creators who are making content you want to see, because that helps them make more content. So let's see. I feel like I had more to talk to you guys about, but I really just don't. Hey, enjoy your time in school there. I actually missed the super structured time that I was in school. Trying to manage my own schedule and be an adult and pay mortgage is kind of stressful. My husband handles most of the finances, but even then, like, it's pretty stressful. Alright, I'm gonna have to turn on my fan because it's getting really hot in here. If that is too loud for you guys, let me know and I can turn it down one. I really just need some airflow. So. Yep. Alright, I feel like I've, like, run out of things to talk to you guys about. Oh, heavens. Yes, that's a good point. So Amy just said that this year we didn't have any events, or really, like, pretty much everything's been canceled this year. So doing something like the big event last weekend was fairly easy because we didn't have any other commitments. As things open up and the world turns into whatever this new normal is, we are going to have a lot more things on our time. So putting on a big virtual event like that is only going to get harder. So, but like I said, if you find a creator that's producing content that you really like, support them. Like, comment, do all the things. You don't have to do like monetary support to support them. So one of my favorite things was about this. What am I trying to say? One of my favorite things about like being on YouTube is actually forming a community with all of you, and like actually getting to know you, kind of, in a way. Like, you guys only see me live for like 1 hour every week, and then whatever gets edited into my videos. And I only get to know you guys from your comments, so we don't really know each other, but it's good to feel like I have a community. So, especially right now, because all of my usual social outlets are non-existent. But I feel like everyone's like dealing with that. So, let's see. Oh, I want to tell you guys about this video idea I had, which is why I'm like pressuring, working so hard to get these sleeves done, because I want to film it this weekend. So I've kind of come to the conclusion that I need to do more than just making of videos on my channel. And so I want to start doing like super cinematic, like fun storytelling, like mini movies almost, as like kind of a costume reveal. And so I really want to film the one for my Spanish gown this weekend. And so I'm super excited about that. And so like the storyline that I'm thinking of is just like this like really fancy lady who just is completely bored with her life, so she goes swimming in the river, which is going to be really interesting to film because this outfit is made of silk, and so I'm going to have to be really careful with planning and all of my shots and things, so that way when I like actually like go swimming in the river, I don't have to carry my I don't have to carry my silk gown with me back to my car while like soaking wet. So that's gonna take some planning, but I have ideas and I'm kind of excited about it. So I want to know what you guys think of that idea. I also have a reveal planned for the Elsa ball gown, but I'm gonna keep that one a secret because I'm super excited about that one. But yeah, I've also thought about doing like get ready with me style videos, so that way you guys can see how I put on these dresses and all the layers that go into it. Just because I know that that's really interesting and like cool to watch how like historical clothing goes together. I mean, I like watching those videos, so I think I will come up with a few and see how they do. Oh heavens, I'm like not even halfway done on this, and it's looking so good. A cloth bag, probably. I think I'm gonna film it in 2 different sections, so that way like I will like film it with like all the layers and stuff on, and then like I'll film the swimming part separately after I've put everything into my car. So it just means walking around my local park a lot, but I'd rather do that than get my silk stained. So. on. Oh, I missed a comment. Learning to sew because you're interested in historical clothing is totally a thing. So I started sewing when I was 8, and I started making costumes when I was 10, 12. I don't remember. I think I started making clothes when I was 10 because I was making doll clothes before. So I started making clothes when I was 10 using patterns and a lot of help from my mom. And then I started making costumes about 12. I would go to the thrift store and I would buy sheets and curtains, and I would make things out of that. I would steal fabric out of my mom's fabric stash and make things out of that. I would take old clothes that my mom was getting rid of and I would make things out of those. When I made doll clothes, I would literally take my mom's fabric scraps and like use those. So yeah, I think I was about 10 when my mom realized, oh yeah, this is not a fad, let's like actually start teaching you things. So yeah, I would say you are never too young to learn how to sew, but I would also say you should start with parental supervision depending on your age. Like if you're a teenager, I wouldn't worry about it as much, but if you're any younger than 10, 12, make sure you have parental supervision because some things are iffy. So not knowing where to start is a thing. I totally get that. Pick a project, pick a pattern, sew a pillowcase, sew like a really simple shirt. Everyone really kind of like does not like the big 4 patterns. Big 3, big 4, I don't remember. Anyway, the big pattern companies, but they're actually really useful because they have patterns specifically for beginners. So find a pattern, like a beginner pattern. Find some like thrift store bed sheets. Go to town. You don't need a sewing machine. You can hand sew the entire thing. If you do, kudos to you. I admire your patience. YouTube is another good resource. I saw that comment come up. So, yeah, I cannot tell you how many garments, because it wasn't just costumes, it was also like modern clothing things, I used bed sheets for. I still do, actually. I've actually been missing my favorite thrift store and wanting to go thrifting just because like I miss looking through the sheets and curtains and trying to find like awesome fabric. So yep. Yeah. Definitely want to do some more sewing 101 stuff. And I might do some beginner project stuff, but like I said earlier, I think I'm going to leave most of that for like a Patreon account. Yeah. Oh my heavens, guys, that's looking so good. This is going to take, I'm probably going to spend all day tomorrow doing this, like, let's be honest, because I have plans for tonight. But I will definitely be updating my Instagram stories with pictures if you guys feel so inclined to like wander over there and see how this is turning out. I'm so excited. So if I don't get these sleeves done in time for this weekend, I'm not terribly heartbroken. There's other things that I can spend my time on and get done. So I'm just glad that like I'm starting to have energy again. It makes me happy. Ooh, let's not pull that too tight. There we go. Alright, I don't know if I have much else to talk to you guys about, so I'm probably going to shift my screen down a little bit so you guys can see me work. And we'll do that for a little bit, and then I'll probably say goodbye. But not yet. I want to show you guys, let you guys see more of how this is working. 2, 2, single, got it. Come on. I am really just kind of obsessed about this, guys. Oops. Yeah, so you guys can see the texture difference. I don't know if you'll be able to see like the actual difference, but you can see the texture difference between the fabric manipulation and then just the cut silk. Oh, I'm so excited. What prevents fraying? Absolutely nothing. I did try my best to cut with the grain if at all possible, but you know, nothing's gonna stop this thing from fraying, which I knew beforehand, and it's part of the reason how come like I almost didn't do it. I definitely think if you made this out of a wool that didn't fray, you might have better long-term results. But this is something that I'm only going to wear once, maybe twice a year, in actual practicality. So I'm not terribly worried about it. I'm not expecting it to just, you know, spontaneously fray in my closet. To be honest, I am more worried about catching these on something and like ripping it out than I am the fabric fraying. So. Let's see. It's also like you can look in paintings if they are like super high res and you can like zoom in on them. Depending on the painter, they will actually paint the frayed edges of the fabric. So I'm kind of, yes, fraying is a thing that I should worry about, but I kind of don't, because it feeds into this whole notion of like copious consumption, I think is the term that I'm looking for. Where like, oh yes, I can cut all of these holes in my silk because I can afford it. So. Yeah. So I saw that question. Fraying is when your fabric unravels. So you might not be able to see, but I have a lot of like little black strings everywhere. And that's just because the fabric is unraveling. So you can see it more on this edge. This black fringe looking thing is fraying because that's where the fabric is unraveled. Absolutely nothing to prevent fraying. I could probably starch it, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. And that would help prevent the fraying, but it wouldn't, like, completely stop it. Plus, like, if I ever got water on them or washed these or, like, anything like that, I would have to restarch them. The washing would probably also cause a lot of fraying. I don't like using fray check in general. I find it annoying. And oftentimes it like discolors the fabric that I'm working with. Plus, like, all of these cuts were annoying by themselves. Can you imagine fray checking everything? Fray check is also a type of glue, so chances are I would have to like recut all of these after I fray checked them, because they would just like glue themselves back together. And, you know, my shoulders are still sore from, like, cutting everything last night, so not really willing to put more effort into recutting things. Cool. Just making sure I'm not pulling this so tight that it's, like, coming out the other end and undoing all my work. So we are headed out to visit my family for Christmas. And I have an idea where I want to raid my mother's lace collection. So my mom collects antique lace, and she also collects handmade needle lace. So I think that would be something fun to like show you guys, is raiding her lace collection, and kind of talking about lace and the different kinds of lace with her. Lace making is something that I have absolutely no interest in, but it's really pretty and I kind of like looking at it. I mean, no interest in making. I have all the interest in having lace on, like, all of my clothing. But we'll see if that happens. She might not want to pull it all out. Alright, I'm so close to finishing this. We've got this far to go, guys. So I'm kind of excited to start building up these rows, and just seeing how this texture just kind of transforms this fabric. This is my first time really playing with fabric manipulation, and it's kind of exciting. It's taken a lot of work, obviously, but yeah. Oh, I had a question. How will you cut the sleeves across those holes? I'm really looking forward to seeing the end result. I'm going to lay out my pattern, and I'm going to cut it out, and I'm going to flat line it with a brown lining fabric. So. With any luck, on next week's live stream, I will show you guys the finished result of these sleeves. As well as I want to make a snood, which is basically a lunch lady hairnet, but make it fashion. Or as my best friend called it, lunch lady core. I can't get over that. That's just like absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, that's what I want to make to match this. That's going to be gold though, so it's not going to be a complete match, but it'll match a lot of my Renaissance wardrobe. So I'm excited about that. I'm really hoping to get that done before I film the final project reveal video as well. So here's to hoping I get I have a very productive weekend and don't get exhausted. All right. I'm gonna tilt you guys back up while I work. Probably such a little bit further back. There you go. That looks better. All right. Is there any other questions for me before we disperse for the rest of the day? I really have appreciated how chatty you guys are. It's part of the reason I love doing these live streams is because I feel like I just get to like hang out with all of you. So thanks for hanging out with me, and like thanks for watching the replay for everyone who's doing that, because I know the majority of you watch the replay and I see you. So, for those watching the replay, if you have questions, just let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. So, alright, we are almost at an hour. So I'm probably going to say goodbye. Thank you for hanging out with me and geeking about the sleeve project. Like I said, I will update things on Instagram as I get things done. And I will see you guys next week. Bye guys. Oh, turn off live.